Hi there, creative. I'm Shannon from the Pigeon Letters Design Team. And for today's video, I'm going to be doing things a little bit different. So, have you ever sat down in front of a blank piece of paper or canvas and had no idea what to create on it? Well, in today's video, I am going to be sharing some of the most common places or sources that I get my inspiration from when I have no idea what I want to do. And while I'm sharing those tips, I will be painting an abstract piece in the background. So, one of the most common places that I find inspiration is nature. So, depending on where you are in the world, your scenery is going to be different than mine and other artists as well, even if they live in the same place that you do. And that alone can provide you with inspiration to create something that is unique to you. I live on a small tropical island, so it's no surprise that I get lots of inspiration from the sun, the sea, and the sand. So whenever I am feeling stuck, I like to just choose these colors and create something inspired by the beach. You can also get inspiration from flowers, animals, colors, shapes, and textures of things found in nature, even if the items are not based where you are. So you can just use reference images and let that inspire your art. Depending on what type of artist you are, nature can also inspire you to incorporate certain natural elements like leaves, flowers, sticks, sand, and stuff like that into your projects. Another source of inspiration for me are books. There's so many art books out there that share tutorials and projects that you can create. All you have to do is flip through the book and you'll find lots of inspiration within the pages. Inspiration may not only come from the material taught in the book, but you can also be inspired by other types of books. For example, children's books, coloring books, graphic novels, comics, stuff like that. You can get inspiration from the covers, the color schemes, typography, or illustrations within them. Another common place that I find inspiration is in food. Much like nature, food can provide you with an array of colors, textures, and shapes that you can grab inspiration from and start creating. One of the most common things I do when I have no idea what to create is to use lettering or art prompts. Each month, there are lettering and art challenges hosted by artists over on Instagram. So you can simply pick the prompt listed for that particular day and create something based on it. There's also a website that I like to use called Sketch Design Repeat, where the prompts are not numbered for a specific day, so you can pick whichever one you feel inspired to use and create something with it. You can also find inspiration in old artwork. Take a look through your old artwork and pick something and recreate it. You can pick something that didn't exactly turn out how you wanted it to at the time and give it another try, or you can pick something that you loved creating and just make it again. You can also find inspiration by trying something new. This can be a new tool, technique, or a completely new medium or art form. Trying this new thing will allow you to get out of the confines of your usual medium and open a world of new possibilities. When I first started my art journey, I was using only brush pens and markers to create lettering. And when I got very burnt out, I decided to pick up some watercolors and try to create a watercolor painting. And eventually I branched off and started exploring acrylic paints, alcohol inks, and even Procreate. And now I have a lot of different mediums to try when one is not working for me. And the last thing I want to cover in this video is your imagination. Inspiration doesn't always have to come from outside sources. Sometimes ideas will pop into your head randomly, or if you're brainstorming, you'll come up with ideas of what to create on your own. And as an artist, you should definitely store or write down your ideas when you get them. Even if you don't try these ideas at the same time, you can always go back to them whenever you're in a creative rut. I have covered the most important places that I get my inspiration from. And now I want to start talking about this painting that I'm doing in the background. So I started with a canvas. This was originally a white canvas that I spray painted black because I had something painted on it and I didn't like it. So I just spray painted it black and I had it there sitting for quite a few months. And I decided to just use this as an example of how I sometimes approach lack of inspiration or lack of creativity. At the beginning of this painting, I had no idea what I would create. So I took a few seconds to try to come up with some colors, and then I recalled a very pink purplish sunset that I had seen a few days before, and I decided to use those colors to make this piece. So I used pinks and purples and also added some white for the clouds, some gold that would kind of represent the sun setting. Now, I didn't try to make this realistic in any manner, so I wasn't trying to create a realistic sunset. This was just me experimenting with these colors. This entire piece was actually an experiment because I had no idea what the final outcome would be. I just started to play around with the colors and the techniques and just have fun. So once I was finished using my palette knife to pull those colors downward, I then used a paintbrush to blend in the colors into the black because I wanted to have the brightness of the top of the painting contrasting with the darkness at the bottom. Then I added some metallic gold paint. I kind of scraped it all over the painting to create a very rustic, vintage, distressed look. And then I used a smaller liner brush to just add some lines and textures and shapes all around the painting in black and white and gold just to bring everything together. This was all very loosely done and freestyled. So I had a lot of fun just playing around with all of these elements as I added them. One of the main reasons that I found that I struggle with knowing what to create is because of all of the thoughts that are flowing around in my head sometimes about messing up or my artwork not turning out perfectly. And one thing I want to share with you is art is meant to be an expression of you, your thoughts, your feelings, or just you experimenting with your supplies and having fun. It's not meant to be perfect. I hope this video sparked some ideas or gave you some inspiration on what to create next. And I will see you next month for a new tutorial where I will be continuing this topic and I'll be sharing tips on how to turn your inspiration into a final piece of hand lettered artwork.